Okay, so let's get right into it, buddy. We're going to talk about some ski specific stuff. The first question, what do you see skiers do that is counterproductive? What's the one thing you see a lot of skiers do that you look at and you're like, oh man, I wish I could just go over there and like kindly tell them or clear it up for them?
I mean, it's the most basic one. The first thing that jumps out to me is that well, I work at a ski school. I see people ski every day at all levels, but the main one that I see is just the leaning of the shoulder, and it kind of makes sense, right? When you want to, I mean, I'll explain that in a second. But when you want to run from here to over there, you kind of put your mass in that direction, and your legs kind of follow it, right? Mm-hmm. But that's what people do when they're going water skiing is they want to go to, their first big cut is towards the right, towards buoy one, and so what they'll do is instead of moving the ski, rotating it underneath the line and kind of using the ski to get across, which is, we're skiing, so it kind of really is what it should be, is that lean of the shoulder, which drops you over, which puts your weight all the way, on the front foot, but then you can't have that, so then they'll drop the butt back, and then the weight might be somewhere about where it should be through that middle of the ski, but realistically you're totally out of position and the boat's just killing you because it's just folding you the closer you get to the second wake and further on. So you run a straight line into buoy one and every buoy thereafter. So that's number one. And I think that everyone can learn from that. I mean, like me, I see myself do it. I see, I come out of buoy 3 at 41 at Travers this year when I ran 3.5 and I nearly hit the boat. And I'm like, well, why didn't I get over to 4 in better shape? 3 was bad, but I should have really been able to get a full 4 from there. But it's because I just lent my shoulder because I'm stupid. And I just got in the moment and started to, well, I got to go left, so I got to lean left instead of, no, let's get the ski between me and the boat, put it on edge, get a nice, I hate stacked really as a word. I have yet to find an alternative for it. But I mean, I get in a nice position where I'm kind of lined up and let the boat swing me across. And that's where I think that some of the guys that ski better, I ski against who do that better in scramble situations will get the extra buoys and I don't. So yeah. that's a part of my off-season thrust.
And I ask a spin-off question from that. Who do you think is the best skier in the world who does this the worst? In other words,
the best skier in the world who does this the worst.
Who gets folded consistently into the wakes because their butt's a little too far back and their shoulders are too far forward, but they're still like really freaking good? Think of anybody? Not to put you on the spot. But it's
that is putting me on the spot.
It's a valid question because maybe we could help them.
I mean, I'll say again. I do it when I'm in bad shape. I'll start leaning with the shoulders and there's a name or two that comes to mind, but I don't care to. I don't care to start any feuds or. No.
Oh man, isn't our sport great? We walk the line so well. We all walk the line so well.
So political.
I know.
It's so funny, you've got to, there is, and that's something, I mean, really going off topic here, but that's something that I find is quite funny. We all desperately want to win every tournament we go to, but there is this sort of quite positive level of respect. Even, everyone knows who doesn't like everyone but I find that like, compared to what I hear about the old days, where it was just like, you effing this and you can't beat me and you complete loser and for the most part it's generally quite a positive doc and everyone gives each other the space and that's and I think that's positive and I think that I would like to continue that, not by talking am I allowed to swear?
Trash.
You
can do whatever
trash,
you need to.
About my fellow skiers who I have so much respect for.
Okay, so back on topic to finish this question out. What is one or two things that you find yourself telling skiers to remedy the situation that actually works? What are one or two cues or coaching tips that you give people that helps them get in a better body position so that they're using more of their skeleton and their ski and less body, shoulder, lean, butt back to get to the other side?
I think every single person probably that's come to the boarding school to ski with me in the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 years has probably heard use your knees as arrows. I myself, I ski a lot with my knees. I find that that's a really good way of changing your balance point on a ski. If I push my kneecaps forward over my big toes, suddenly my hips are brought in that direction, and then so long as my chest is up, then I can kind of get aligned. So yeah, I mean, the further your knees are forward, the less you're going to be capable of just sitting down, you know, like you're on the potty. So yeah, that's the sort of first thing I'll often say, and then, you know, kind of the other thing is, you know, when you're coming across the wake, you want to really, this is something that Ronnie Barton did a great job of dialing into me when I started skiing with her a couple of years ago. Just, you know, get that hip on the handle and get that really straight line. I've always said this as well, like straight line between your front knee and your armpit, you know, with that hip in the middle. And that's where you can kind of, you know, if you can get the handle nice and low, like just below your hip bone there, then you're in a position to generate speed. Yeah.
That's the name of the game, right? Speed within reason. Efficient speed.
Yeah. Well, I was having a conversation with someone earlier today, a guy that came out and tried one of my skis. He tried an NRG, and he liked it, and he was on a different ski brand, and he's like, well, it just felt like, although my ski is faster, this feels a little bit more predictable. And I said, well, listen, everyone always talks about speed, but as you say, it's not speed really, it's velocity, because it's speed in a stated direction. And if you're going really fast in the wrong direction, that's no good. But if you can have good velocity, which is, you know, really key part of water skiing is, which I think most people don't realize, is you can do a really, really, really good job. A lot of people do a fantastic job from the turn buoy through to the first wake, or through to the center line. But the best skiers in the world are the ones that do a great job from center line out. It's that continuation, and you want, to my mind, to straighten that path as much as possible, so that, you know, any deviation where you hit the wake and then start swinging in towards the buoys, which is inevitable, but to minimize that deviation and then continue that swing out in front of the buoy, that's what you want to be doing. So, you know, so crucially, yes, speed is great, but that, you know, you do want to continue that speed along the angle that you're desiring, which is to get out in front of the next buoy so you can have space, time, width, all that sort of stuff.
Technique, equipment, fitness, nutrition, mindset, the 5 components to success on the water. Our mission from the beginning has been to figure out how to help you become the best skier you can be. To do that, we've studied every single aspect of this sport and simplified it into the most fundamental concepts so that you don't have to. The Flowpoint Method is the first and only all-inclusive program with the best information and tools to help you become the best skier you can be. Sign up today for a free trial and see for yourself.